Hi everyone, you're welcome back to me news channel. Today we have a very serious trading news for you, and it is about the insecurity in the country, Nigeria. But the most interesting thing is that the man who spoke on this issue was one time ex-chief of army staff and also interior minister in the Buhari administration. He was army chief in the time of Umar Shehu Yadwa, and now the minister of interior in the administration of Muhammadu Buhari, though retired. You know, in Nigerian politics, if they retire you or you retire earlier before the administration ends, you know that something may have been seriously behind it. But in any case, we are not interested on what happened, why he did not continue with the administration of President Buhari, but we are interested in what he's going to give us as long as the security of the nation is concerned. He acknowledged that there is a serious insecurity in Nigeria, and in his bid to explain this, he was called by the Mieti Allah Breeders Association and the Northern Consensus Movement. You know, these two are all Fulani associations, and within this group they are the people who own cattle in Nigeria. They are the people sending their cattle rearers or those who take care of their cattle, the headers, to all parts of the nation. But this man today has spoken wisely without fear of favor, and from the analysis you find out that most of the problems are created by the Mieti Allah themselves and their Northern Consensus Movement, because the necessary tools to stop the Fulanis from meandering from one village to the other, from one district to the other, from one state to the other, from one region to the other, is there are amenities to keep them in one place, and they do their business, cattle rearing and breeding in one particular zone. But however, this man, the Lieutenant General Dambazua, retired, the former Minister of Interior, used this opportunity to inform the nation that really the problem is solvable. The problem is caused by those who allow these killings and banditry to continue. But in this conference, he was asked to talk about the dilemma of the Fulani pastoralists presented at the Pastoralist and Fulani Security Conference. I did not use the word Felbe because it is what is used here, but Felbe, they put it that it is the Fulanis. If you go to the history of the Fulanis, you see they use the word Felbe because they are the people who meander from place to place. They don't have particular home, but they spread out all over West Africa and Africa indeed, and they are related or associated themselves with the Arabs. However, we are interested in what this particular retired general said. In it, the general made us to know that the Fulani hitmen has been accused of carrying out different degrees of violent crimes against farmers and communities across the country. What is important here is across the country. Across the country means it is not only limited in the northeast, it's not limited in Kaduna, it's not limited in the north as a whole, it's not limited in Benue State, Plateau State, it's not limited to Enugu State, it's not limited to Anambra State, it's not limited to Edo State, it's not limited to Imo State, Abia State, is not limited to any state at all. It's all over the nation. It's not limited in Lagos, Ekiti State, Ondo State. It's all over. It's not limited in Osun alone, but all over the nation. They spread their arms all over the country. So Dambazua, in his conference and the presentation, made us to know that this violent group are spread all over the nation. The former minister, however, emphasized the urgent need for practical solution to kidnapping by the Fulani youth, the Fulani youth, which sees to the daily loss of lives and destruction of properties. This man and the Mieti Allah for the first time acknowledged that it is the people they sent out to take care of their cattle that are causing menace in the nation, not only limited to the north but spread out. Then one would say, why did at a point in time were they denying that it is not the Fulani hitmen or the bandits that are causing menace in the nation? Why has the president, who is also a member of Mieti Allah Cattle Association, not speaking? Why has he refused to take action? Why has he concentrated in any area that is not Fulanis? He goes there to say, he sends military, DSS and the security agents to go there and squash and kill the people. But those things that is happening in his own enclave, those things that is happening in his own state, in his own hometown, Daura, through which these bandits are coming, he has said nothing, and he appreciates them. Now this Dambazua continued in his lectures. He says that the lives of people have been lost and the properties destroyed. It should be noted that it is the same group that formed the unknown gunmen in the southeast and the gunmen in the north. It is the same group because they are the people who are causing havoc, killing people, burning police stations in the night, destroying government properties. And this is similar, a replica of what was taking place in Afghanistan, a replica of what was taking place in Libya, in Iraq, in Somalia, in Mozambique, in Pakistan. So this is their antecedent. There is no doubt about it. And this lecture came at the right time when the primaries and the voting system is coming up. Elections are coming, and this man was called to come and give these lectures. And it is worthy to praise those Mieti Allah who exposed themselves at this very point in time, because the attacks and the killings are now on them. Because when they send these people out and they cannot have the opportunity to sell their cows and return money to them, then they are at loss and they leave their cattle to go into banditry, kidnapping, killings and the ransom taking, abandoning the cattle they were asked to go and rear. So this is a very good opportunity for us to know what they have been doing behind. This particular general continued in his presentation. He says, he therefore called for the block of access to weapons and clean up all weapons in use within the Fulani youth environment. So this is what he is telling us. They have realized that it is the Fulani youths. These Fulani youths included the hitmen, the bandits themselves, the Boko Haram, the IPOB, the ISIS, all combined. All of them are from the Fulani ethnic group. So he is now calling the government, if government will take heed, but which is difficult to say because the man in charge is a military man. He doesn't want anybody to tell him what to do, and he has his own agenda. So he wants to use the opportunity to ensure that people are killed and properties of Nigerians destroyed before he leaves office. So he has been called now to block all access. They know the access here through which these weapons are coming in. They know it, and they know where these bandits are. The military knows, the DSS knows, all security agents know where they are, and therefore they have to go and clean them and block all these routes through which they come in. They come in through the borders. They have custom officers. In one occasion, I saw where I read where the custom officers were doing Christmas for them, giving them rice, packing everything, and giving to the bandits who are killing people. That is in the north as well. So this again is an advantage to IPOB, because IPOB has been openly been accused by the MACBANs themselves, by the Fulanis themselves, that they are causing harm. They are killing people. They are killing their own Fulanis in the southeast, when actually they are the people orchestrating and killing these people and luring it into the hands of IPOB. And IPOB on several occasions have dissociated themselves from these particular killings, and is continuously saying that it is the Fulani hitmen, the bandits, the Boko Harams that have been infiltrated into, that has been incorporated into the Nigerian security agencies, and they shift them to the southeast and the south as a whole to come and cause menace in the security of the nation. It is a very big advantage. They can now say categorically clear that they are not responsible for the killings. That is IPOB. Those who are sponsoring the hitmen, the bandits, know that they are the people causing the menace. But what do? They run into anytime something happens, their eyes are on southeast. Anytime something happens, they run quickly to the newspapers. They paid them already. So all the papers do is just to bring out information. Oh, IPOB has done this, IPOB has killed this, IPOB has done the other side. When actually it is not IPOB. They continuously say they are not responsible. And today, it is very good thing that we have to say God has brought them out, and brought them out using this particular retired general to expose their activities. And this we appreciate. And these Nigerians welcome. Nigerians can now have a special knowledge of who are actually doing those things. MACBANs have the cattle, including the president. He has his own cattle, which means they contribute generally through their union to purchase all these ammunitions, all these weapons, to give to those who take care of their cattle. No wonder the president have insistently said that they want a cattle route. This is a president that was asked to restructure the country, he refused. People have spoken, the elder statesmen have spoken from the southeast, from the southwest, from the south-south, from the middle belt, including the north. He refused. He blocked his ears. But this is the same president who destined 1966 constitution, 1960 constitution, and they used the military coup of 1966 to bury the constitution. But when he planned his Ruga, and the Ruga bill was rejected in the assembly, National Assembly, both National Assemblies, Senate and the representative rejected it, and all the state assemblies said no. All groups, human rights says no. What did he do? He came back again as a conman to go back to the old constitution he refused to use as a structuring power to regionalize the country. He went there and found a route and asked his Minister of Justice to bring out a particular area he said is a route that was in the constitution that makes the cattle to be moved from north to south. So his particular interest is on the cattle and not on the security of the people. So this Lieutenant General retired Dambazua used this opportunity to inform us that he also indeed not only blocking the access of the weapons, not only cleaning up all weapons used in these very activities the Fulani youths are carrying out, but also he urged the criminal justice system to wake up from where they are sleeping, to come strong against any one of them found committing any form of crime. And what are the crimes? We will see the crimes. The crime of ensuring that lives are lost and the properties destroyed. Now, he did not stop there. He continued. But before I move forward, who are or what constitutes the criminal justice system? Who takes cases to the criminal courts? It is the police. It is the security agents that passes the information to the police, and police will forward the matter to the court of law. But who is in charge of police? Who is in charge of criminal justice? They are all Fulanis. Then how do you take these criminals to the court? Have you seen where the police have arrested, since the present president is in power? Have you seen where police has arrested any Fulani bandit or his men or Boko Haram or a SWAP member? No, they have not, because they are not their target. They are their foot warriors. They want to use them to destabilize the nation. Otherwise, the president would have gone against them. He would have gone after them. He could have used the security agents as he used to send police and security agents to the southeast against the IPOB. But he never does that. What else? The man in charge of the security services, all security arms of the government, are Fulanis. The judiciary, Fulanis. Is it not only when police send case to the court that courts will activate action? But in this case, you know who will send? They can only send for those who are not from the south. They can only send security agents to kill anybody that says what they are doing is wrong. That is President Buhari for you. He is repeating what he did in 1983 till 1985. Who were put in detention? Are they not Southerners and Christians? This is the issue. So this particular ex-interior minister and the former army chief of staff is coming down to inform us actually what the bandits who are Fulanis, the IPOBs, the Boko Harams, the Fulani hitmen are doing in their own area. They call them youth, Fulani youth. So what they are doing. He continued his argument and the information. He said, we must, he didn't say the government alone, for the MACBANs who instigated the conference, for the Northern Consensus movement that instigated and organized the conference. He's telling them that, including the government and all state governors, especially those from the southeast, the governors of southeast who have continuously killed their people. They kill their people. Any slightest thing they can settle, they call the military. They call the military to come and kill their own boys, while these people are securing their own youth. All these governors has been put to shame today, as this ex-minister is detailing everything about the Fulani youth, who are totally responsible for everything happening in the country, and with their leaders who have knowledge about them. The MACBAN comprises of almost all the emirs, all the senior alhajis, former heads of states, and most senior civil servants retired. Even those who are serving, they are members of MACBAN. They have knowledge. That is why people are afraid and say, oh my goodness, why are these people not taking action? So they may have a hidden agenda because of the way they are acting. That puts fear into people. They are busy using the security men, the hitmen, the Boko Harams, the bandits, the IPOB to be doing all these harms. They are using them to carry out all the harms they are doing. Then what is the end of this game? What will be the end of this game? That is the question. Why are these people doing this? What gives these youths the courage, the power, the strength to carry out all these atrocities? The man continued. Dambazua is an experienced man because he specialized in criminality in his career. He says not only that the criminal justice will take effective measures, but also he said we must also clean up the stubble. That stubble, he explained what it is to the conference. He says, by this I mean with the help of NDLA. This means the National Drug Enforcement Agency. You see, these children or these youths are involved in drug. I mean, with the help of NDLA, the society must, on the drug abuse, must work on the drug abuse among the Fulani youths. They have this drug addiction issue. That is what is happening. Because you can imagine how a normal human being will take knife. Apart from shooting, he will take somebody who is alive as they are. They use knife and cut the person into pieces. They will cut the neck. They will cut the hands. They will cut the legs. They will remove the private parts. For the pregnant women, they will kill them and cut the woman, bring out the child that is in stomach and cut the child into pieces. What a human being. Are they doing it out of good eyes? No, because they are full of drugs and they don't see any other person than themselves. That is why they kill at will. This is what this man is telling us now. He knew about all these things. He must have advised the president, but would not take heed. Probably that might be the reason why he resigned. Those who have good conscience amongst them will not admit this type of criminality, this type of violence, destruction of lives and properties. So he decided to use this opportunity of the conference, opportunity given to him in this very conference, to explain everything in a, not in a very wide write-up, but goes straight to all those key points he wants to make. That makes him an academician. That makes him as a man who actually studied and have practical knowledge of what is going on. Then he continued. In this, the drugs must be removed out of these criminals. Again, we must ensure justice. We must ensure justice and pursue human capital development that will improve education and the health of the youth of Fulanis. Well, this is not new to those who follow what has been happening since Babangida took power in 1985. You could recollect that Babangida in his time took World Bank loan to provide nomadic education. The loan was enough. The nomadic education got equivalent of university allocation, Nigerian university allocation. They got equivalent just to establish rural education for the nomads. So, and this continued. Jonathan financed nomadic education in continuity. So they have been receiving this education, but they don't use it to help themselves, but they use it as a learning ground to operate criminal activities. He continued. He did not stop there. In terms of health, well, Nigeria is a very wonderful country. Their health services has never been optimized. It has remained at a low, or one of the lowest healthcare providers within West Africa. Within Africa, talk less of the world. They love to build houses, big houses, but they don't maintain the medical facilities. The president has, the present day President Buhari, he has a federal medical center in his domain. But does he use it? He leaves it to travel, make a jamboree, healthcare holidays to Britain every 6 months or every 3 months. He moves down there. But he has never seen the British Prime Minister or any of the ministers come down to Nigeria for medical care. They make budgets of millions, trillions for healthcare, but where are the evidence? None. So this issue of healthcare is a failure. And had Jonathan or President Obasanjo during his time been using this, I don't know if actually anybody would have, the whole system would have been that all the newspapers, all political parties, every individual would have been blastering them. But in this situation, you see every day that Buhari goes to London, flies as if he is going from the State House to his village, all in the name of medical care. He cannot provide for the country that he rules, but he prefers others to provide for themselves, and he goes there to enjoy the services. That is the leadership Nigeria found themselves, and they still want to continue this type of life. The great presenter did not stop there. Lieutenant General Dambazua went further, not only on education, not only on the healthcare that may be provided for the Fulani youths to make them happy to stay one place, but it is unfortunate that that cannot happen. According to President Buhari, when he was blastering Jonathan over his support for the Niger Delta during the time of Yar'Adua and the Jonathan regime, he said that those boys have been collecting money from oil workers. They turned themselves to be extorting money from oil workers and have come to the point that they get $500 every time. Then how would they go to school? They won't go to school, because what if they come out, you pay them 100,000? It's not enough, because what they receive is more than that. When bandits ask somebody to pay 100 million for him to leave the person, then you know how much it is, you know what it means. So how will he go to school? How will he think of going to his care? His health care becomes that money, and the drugs he uses. So this is the fact about the whole thing. Then on the other hand, the government have been advised to implement the National Livestock Transformation Plan. This transformation plan have been detailed out, but the government does not want to implement anything except allowing the bandits to move to the south to cause mayhem, attack police stations, attack military formations. That is, they are settled. Shooting down the military aircraft or military jets or military warplanes. They are satisfied that these things are happening before them. So talking of implementation of national livestock, it does not help them. After all, when Babangida was in leadership, the World Bank loan, he gave them a lot of incentives to encourage them in form of loans. But we will talk that in a later part. Let us continue with the analysis of his lectures. But the most interesting among all is where he stated, he said about what he said about land. What he said about land. The Fulanis and the government made the world to believe that there is no land or fertile land in the north, or the land that can produce grasses in the land. But is this true? No. Let's listen to what the presenter said. He said, particularly in terms of land, in the vast lands in the northwest and northeast, with all necessary facilities to enable the Fulani youths and pastoralists to settle down permanently in the north. If they develop the National Livestock Program, they have enough land, they have enough water. Every area in the north, they have dams. At least I could vouch this because I have traveled wide in the northern part of the country. There are dams all over the north. They can maintain them. It can provide water, irrigation for everything, drinking water. They don't need to move their cattle from one place to the other. This is what this man is saying. They have lands in northwest and northeast, enough for them to settle down one permanent place to rear their cattle. But the owners, the MACBANs, the consensus movement group, want them to go to southeast, want them to go to southwest, to cause mayhem, to destroy farmlands, crops, kill the owners, and take over everything, and leave the vast lands in northwest and the northeast, and leave everything about the implementation of the National Livestock Transformation Plan, approved since 2019. They don't want to do anything, but they want to take over everything, kill everybody in the south, in the southeast, in the southwest, in Benue State, in Plateau State, in Kaduna State, and all the Christian lands in the north as a whole. This is what this man is trying to let the world know and let the government realize. He knows the government will not do it. They have their own agenda. So he decided to use the opportunity of the conference to make it open his mind and what the government has failed to do. There are opportunities that these problems wouldn't come. This is what this general is telling everybody. Only that they want it to happen. But on the other hand, there are facilities available for these things not to happen. He continued, after all, government has been subsidizing agriculture in this part of the country, especially for farmers and the production of livestock, which is part of the government efforts to increase revenue. These are the key issues. When Babangida was in power, the World Bank gave him money for agriculture. He gave almost 75% of the money to northerners to encourage them to produce rice, maize, millet, and he gave them almost everything. The problem with Nigeria is that they don't remember. they don't go back to history. They don't go back to see what happened in the past. Is it happening again? Where is the money? The money so spent on these very projects not yielding any fruit. Look at the disbursement of fund given to nomadic education. What has it achieved? It achieved the bandits. The president opened the border. In 2020, when people were in lockdown during the corona incident, he was bringing his kinsmen from Sahel into the country, and they were being shifted to all parts of South. For what reason? And the reasons are what we see today. Killings all over. Unknown gunmen, named gunmen. Did it stop there? No. There are lands in the northwest and the northeast enough to accommodate, no matter the level, the number of cattle, sheep, goat they want to rear. It's enough. There are water, they can do irrigation system. There are water there. There are dams all over. Where have they seen southeast, southwest, Benue State as a prey? This is the question government of President Buhari has to answer. Then the most important amongst all before we end is, while in the past, this is the thing that has killed the government, if those who are in leadership are thinking. You see, while in the past he means that the leaders, the Fulani youth who take charge of the cattle are easily identified, or they were easily identified by use of stick with which they control movement of cow or cattle. But today, what do we see? He says today they have been identified with AK-47. Who purchased this AK-47 instead of the stick they normally give them? Is it not the MACBAN group? Is it not the owners of the cattle, or the sheep or whatever they take to the south? Is it not the owners? Are these young youth the owners of these cattle? No, they are owned by the MACBANs, of which the president is part and parcel of them. And other light weapons, they provide them with AK-47 and other light weapons they use to attack. That is where the man has finished the government. So they use it to attack rural communities. They go to the rural areas and also ambush to kidnap passengers and motorists traveling on the highway. Is it not what has been going on? Most of them in southern part of Nigeria, the southeast and southwest. Is that not what they do? In Kaduna, Abuja Road? Is that not what they do? All the roads in Plateau State and Benue State. Is that not what they do? They ambush people. This is the description, the antecedent of Fulani youth, comprising of the bandit, Hismen, ISWAP, Boko Haram, and ISIS. All of them are in a collective complex, a collective case. They are a group in an element. So this is what they do. So we thank indeed Dambazua for his expression. We thank Dambazua for analyzing critically, detailing without much ado what these people do. So in this area you can find out that the former hitmen, cattle rearers that are known in the south, be it southeast or southwest, is these people coming with a stick, and they are friendly, they can interact with the community, they are not attacking, they were not attacking anybody, they play with the children run with them after the sheep, all of them will be going from place to place. But today, what have we seen according to Chief of Army Staff, former Chief of Army Staff, Dambazua? What do we see? We see them with AK-47. They kill. They come to your house, they kill. They come to your farm, they kill. They take over your property, they burn everywhere. They rape women, they rape children. That is the new hitman MACBAN imported. After all, MACBAN began its new organization during the time of Bangla. It was a suspended something. I think 1987 or so, thereabout, was when it was, reorganized. Until then, it is now doing the job after the new president opened the door for them to come in, because they are doing their things systematically because of what they have in mind. Not that he concluded that these activities, let the southeastern governors note this. He concluded with all these activities, these new Fulani hitmen, new Fulani youths, new Fulani bandits, Boko Haram members, all of them integrated into the Nigerian security services and shifted or transferred to the southeast. What did they do? What have they done? They are using these activities. The Lieutenant General Dambazua has opened the eyes of those eastern state governors. If their eyes are still blind, then they have to be removed from the office through impeachment or not to be re-elected, because they're supposed to be listening. They are not listening. They are looking at the promise they made to those who put them into office and be killing their youths while these people are protecting their youths. He said summarily that this has led today the old pastors were humble, like I've stated, the old ones that were there till between 1960s to, from the 60s till 1978, 79 till 1980, 81, 82, perhaps 83, before Bangla reintroduced measures that brought them back. They were humble, kind, gentle, disciplined, honest, and selfless. But today, what do we have? We have those imported by President Buhari, those who have caused a lot of harms in Afghanistan. Most of them will tell you they were trained in Libya. They are coming from Chad, Niger Republic, Cameroon. They'll be telling you they are coming from Sudan. All these are congregation of Fulanis that have plotted, trained, by the Taliban to cause mayhem in Nigeria. They have target, but thank goodness that this particular interior minister, ex-interior minister, and former army chief of staff has detailed the difference between the old hillsmen. People are using their eyes, especially those from the southeast and the southwest. They are using the eyes of the old hillsmen who were kind, gentle, disciplined, honest, and selfless to look at the present murderers. He called them bandits, murderers, rapists, cattle rustlers, and kidnappers. That is the present day, and these are the foot soldiers. The present regime opened their borders for them to come in and do the job. They are members of many organizations. Could you imagine that while the university students or lecturers are looking for money to go back to schools, to allow their students to go back to school, but Buhari, in his own personal gesture, gave $1 million to the Taliban. Buhari is a friend to Khan, the former president of Pakistan, the friend of Erdogan from Turkey, and other members of OIC, where he derives his advice, and all others. But in all, I particularly thank this main news channel, thank the general, the educated general who was trained in a particular field that has helped him to identify the problems of these present bandits. He's a criminal lawyer by profession and has been able to synthetically produce a very good and distinctive presentation that if government of the day has open heart, they will use this presentation to sanitize the country, remove all these bandits, take over their arms, close their drug channel route, their weapons route, and retrain them in the actual way, rehabilitate them, and make them to realize what they are doing. People they have killed are human beings, and most of them be put to jail, including some security officers, because where those criminal activities are performed and the police inspectors in the community, police commissioners, military officers in each cantonment refuse to do anything but protect them and encourage them to extort money from the citizens, and they have a share, should all be jailed. That is the conclusion of this main news channel. Thank you for listening. We have in fact tried to analyze this together, and we thank you for listening, and God bless you all. We remind you, try as much as possible to give us a thumb, to share this news, and once again to hit the notification bell and leave your comment, and God will bless you all. Bye.